Hi, welcome to this video class. This is Pravina here to teach you 6th Science Lesson 9, the living organisms and their surroundings. So in this video, you are going to learn the different kinds of living organisms and how they are adapted to their surroundings. When you go to the Himalayan mountains, yes, which is a very cold region, you can find different types of plants such as oaks, pines and deodars. And also you will find different animals such as goats and yaks. At the same time, when you go to Rajasthan, which is a very hot place, you will find the animals such as camel and also the plants known as cactus plants and many other as such, right? And if you go to the sea beach, you can see more number of casuarina trees. So each of these regions, they are very different from one another. Some are very cold, some are very hot, and some are humid regions. Yet you will find more number of organisms of various kinds. So here is an activity for you. Try to list out the animals and plants and other objects found in different regions. Animals are plants which are present in the forest, that on mountains, and also the plants and animals in desert and in the sea, and any other objects as such. Okay, so try to do this activity and list out as many number of organisms, that is the plants and animals, possible to you. So in this video you are going to learn what is meant by habitat and what is meant by adaptations. Yes, as in the activity that you have performed earlier, just try to consider two regions, that is the desert and the sea. So what are the surroundings like in the desert and in the sea? In the sea, the plants and animals are surrounded by saline water, that is salt water, and most of them use the air which is dissolved in water. But whereas if you just consider the surroundings of a desert, very little water is available in the desert, and the weather is too hot during the daytime and it is cold during the night time. They just live on the surface of the soil. All the organisms live on the surface of the sand there, and even they breathe air from the surroundings. So these are the variations that we can see in a sea as well as in a desert, isn't it? Let us now discuss the body features of few organisms and how they are adapted to that situation. So in the image, it is an image of a camel, and the body structure of a camel help it to survive in a desert. It has got long legs so that it can keep its body away from the hot soil, and even they excrete small amount of urine and they do not sweat. So all these condition, as they lose very little amount of water, they can survive for many days even without water. So the body features of a camel help it to survive in a desert. And when you move on to the another surrounding, sea, you can see many kinds of fishes. Yes, and all these fishes, they have got streamlined shape. So what is this streamlined? In the sense, the both the ends of a fish, both the end of a body, it tapers. So these streamlined shape of a fish help it to move inside the water. And the fishes possess gills. So what is the use of gills in these animals? So the gills help them to absorb or take in the oxygen which is dissolved in water. And it has also got slippery scales so that it can easily it can protect itself and easily move inside the water. It has also got flat fins and tails so that which help a fish to change its direction and move easily inside the water. So the features of a fish enables the fish to survive inside the water, to live in the water. Okay, so here the whether may be a camel or whether maybe a fish which is living in water, where they have got specific features which enable the either the camel to live in a desert or the fish to live in a water. So the presence of specific features or certain habits which enable a plant or an animal to live in its surrounding is called adaptation. So adaptation is nothing but the specific features which where a body acquires to survive in a particular surrounding. We call it as an adaptation. And the surrounding where organism live is called as a habitat. So the land is a habitat for camel, desert land, or the water is a habitat for fishes. So as such, where the surroundings where the organism live is called as a habitat. The organisms even they depend for their food, water, air, shelter and other needs on their habitat. So this habitat we call it as a dwelling place. The plants and animals that live on land are said to live in terrestrial habitats. For example, forests, grasslands, deserts, coastal and mountain regions. So you can find a wide variety of organisms which are living on these surfaces. As they live on the land, we call it as a terrestrial habitat. On the other hand, the habitat of plants and animals that which live in water are called as aquatic habitats. The habitats such as the ponds, swamps, lakes, rivers and oceans. So, if the organisms live on the land, we call it as an terrestrial habitat. If they live in water, we call it as an aquatic habitat. The living things such as plants and animals in its habitat or its biotic components. In the sense, all the living things, whether it may be a plant or animal, we call them as the biotic component. Biotic in the sense that which has life in it. Whereas the non-living things such as rocks, soil, air and water in the habitat, they constitute its abiotic component. Sunlight and heat as such, where they are called as the abiotic factors. So abiotic components are very important for all the living organisms. For example, you just try to take the soaked seeds and try to make these seeds to germinate. Divide these soaked seeds into 4 different portions. Keep one portion of the soaked seed in a dark place and keep one of the another portion in a very cold place, as such the freezer, and place one in such a way that it receives the maximum amount of sunlight. And now observe which among these will germinate. Is the germination possible there? No, it is not. It is because for the germination of a seed, it requires all the factors. In the sense, it requires warmth, heat, water and air. So the germination is not possible even though if one abiotic factor is missing among them. So the abiotic component is very important for the germination of a seed. In the same way, they are very important for all the living organisms. Small changes that takes place in the body of a single organism over a short periods to overcome small problems due to change in the surroundings are called acclimatization. For instance, you are living on a plains. Now if you just move on to the mountains, it is very difficult for us to breathe or do any physical activity there. And also we have to breathe faster. So our body has to acquire few changes to sustain in that environment. So what happens? After few days, your body will start, where even these small changes where you can survive even in that place over short periods of time. So these small changes that takes place in the body of an organism to overcome few problems is called nothing but acclimatization. But whereas adaptation, which takes place over thousands of years, it doesn't take place in a short time. Over thousands of years, the abiotic factors of a region change. And those organisms which can acquire this change or which can survive to these abiotic factors, they live or if they are not adapted to these abiotic factors, they die. So adaptation is very important for an organism to survive in a particular habitat. Thank you. Meet you in the next video.